Good morning, Mama. Happy 69th birthday. You probably thought I was going to forget about today, but don't worry, that only happened once and it will never happen again, I promise. Now, I may be a little bit biased, but I think you are the best mom in the world. No offense to all those other moms out there. And over my 27 years, you have shaped me into quite the young man, or maybe middle-aged-ish man. And there are all these different nuances and things that I do and say and love because of you, that have come directly from you. And as your birthday present, I wanted to go over a few of those things and tell you how much I appreciate them, and how much I love that you've shaped me in this way. So let's jump into it. Number one, feeling punk, honey. This is something I love so much. Anytime I am sick, I call you up and you go, "Oh, you feeling punk, honey?" No idea where that came from or really 100% what that means, but it's something that I love so much, something that only really our family knows about. Number two, roast beast. I will forever call roast beef meat roast beast, just because something that you said, and that's what I took with me. Number three, people look at me a little weird when I say this when we're going to the pool and I say, "Hey, did you bring your baby suit?" They don't understand it, but it's okay. Baby suit is something that you also gave me. Just a couple little words there. Number four, vocabulary. Anything from plenary to purchase to tipple. You have given me such an amazing vocabulary, and a lot of times I don't know what the words mean 100%, but I'm always never afraid to look a word up and always trying to have a great vocabulary like you. Number five, always wearing my seatbelt. I know this is something kind of small, but you really always taught me that safety first, always wear your helmet. That's something that I carry with me, and of course make sure my friends wear their seatbelt too. Number six, this is a little thing, but always, whenever I switch lanes in a car, I always make sure that in my right or left side mirror, I can see both lights before switching lanes. And that's something that you taught me, and I very distinctly remember when you taught that to me when we were driving, or when I was learning how to drive. Number seven, always being into pop culture. So I love the drama, it's my guilty pleasure to know who's breaking up with who and getting married and who cheated on who and all that. And I think a big way that comes from you. You were always so great about being up to date in pop culture when we were growing up, so that you could, be kind of relevant to us and talk about the things that were going on around us. But I know secretly you just really love that stuff, and I love you for that. Number eight, man, banana bread pudding. And I cannot wait until I go home for Thanksgiving and Christmas and have banana bread pudding. Whether it's you or Vanita making it, that's fine. But I will always have a deep desire for that dessert. So maybe sort of thank you for that. Number nine. This is an interesting one. I very distinctly remember when you told Grandma to shut her mouth. I think it was on Turks and Caicos trip, maybe, something like that. But I remember she was being a pain in the ass, and you just looked in the seat behind you where she was sitting, and you said, "Mom, shut up. Stop complaining. You can get out of the car right now." And because of that, I think, one, it's a great story, and two, I think that and a couple other instances with you, it's really taught me to just stand up for myself when I need to and not take too much shit from anyone. Number 10. I'm not sure if this comes from you or Noah or Dad, but it's definitely something that is a family thing. Whenever I'm at work or even in general, and we're trying to make a decision about something and everybody's kind of halfway, I always think to myself or say out loud, yes and no. Number 11, bedtime for Bonzo. So when it's time to go to bed, I say this to people now, and this I know is because of you. I always go, "All right, bedtime for Bonzo." I think that was from a show back in, the 20s when you were growing up. Just kidding. But it's a phrase that I've carried with me because of you. Number 12. So this is very familiar to you. whenever we wake up in the morning and you're waking us up, you sing a song, and that song goes like this. Get up, you lazy lump, get into your work and wise, and then no one remembers the words after that. Hey, that's something that I love that song, and I sing to other people when I have to wake them up, and I know that's directly because of you. So thank you for that. Number 13. I know this came from your brother Todd, but something that still always reminds me whenever I hear a little squeaky sound. It reminds me of you, the smallest violin in the world. Let me see if I can play it. I don't even know how to play the violin with my hands, but that's something that I know you always used to tell me stories about it, so appreciate that. Number 14. This is an instrument, a very specific one. I will always have an appreciation for knitted bookmarks. I remember when we were growing up and you were really into knitting and spinning. I know you still are. You were always trying to get us to read, as a good mom should. And we always said, all right, fine, we'll read, but I need a bookmark. Knit me a bookmark. And I actually don't know if I ever got one from you, but I distinctly remember us always saying, make me a bookmark. So anytime I see a knitted bookmark, I think of you. Don't see them too often, but you get the point. Number 15, travel bug. You, especially in the last 5 or so years, you have traveled all around the world for work and personal, and that's something that I think I definitely got that travel bug from you, and you've always supported me in all these crazy trips I've taken all over the country and all over the world, and I can't thank you enough for that, because that really has made such a strong impact on my life, and I really appreciate that so much, so thank you. Number 16, this is an interesting one. Refusing to pour a bowl of cereal for anyone. I will never pour a bowl of cereal. I distinctly remember from my childhood that you would never make me cereal, and you would always say, you can go get the bowls, you can get the cereal, you can get the milk, and you can make it yourself. And what that taught me is very simply just not to be lazy, and you know, when I have kids someday, if that ever happens, to do the same for them and not baby them so much. And you never did that for me or Noah or Ezra. So I think that really taught me something. It's such a small little thing, but really appreciate that. 17, nature walks. I will always love nature walks. Anytime I experience any kind of weather, I think of you and think of the amazing nature walks that we went on in Irvington when I was in high school, and in Princeton when I was in college, when there was a big snowstorm or a big rainstorm or anything like that. Even when we used to bring dog Gus out to in the snow with us, and I remember he used to love playing in the snow, and you and I would have the greatest, really one-on-one mom-son talk. So I really cherish that and value that, and I can't wait until our next one. 18. So this is something that you gave me, or that I took from you, and I use it sometimes to make girls laugh or maybe impress them. This is your famous dance that you did in college, I guess. It goes like this. Gotta bob the head a little bit, and then do the double. That is directly from you, and I know every couple months I usually take a not so sober video of me doing it in some bar somewhere and send it to you. So thank you for that. It's made the ladies laugh a little bit. 19, I'll leave the explanation out of this, but I hate telling people that I'm Caucasian. And we're just going to skip the explanation there. And 20, and this is maybe the most important, I'm not afraid to be myself, because you have never been afraid to be yourself, no matter if it's your quirky little things of you walking around in your clog shoes or whatever they're called, or you just being you. You've definitely taught me that it's important that I am myself and in my own, and I think I've definitely taken that. And I'm also not afraid, You can ask any of my friends this. I'm not afraid to tell them how much I love you and how much I appreciate you so much as a mom and what you've done for me. You've been there so much for me my entire life, especially the highs and lows over the last couple of years, and I can't thank you enough for that. I can't wait to spend the holidays with you and the rest of the family. And really, happy birthday, happy 69th. You are the most amazing, amazing woman in the world, and I love you so, so much.